Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the What the Football channel. This is the BH and Scrubber Show. And on today's show, we're going to be covering the game this past Sunday between the Commanders and the Ravens. I thought it was a pretty good game. Just some housekeeping. Be sure you come and watch our preview game of the upcoming Commanders versus Carolina Panthers game this coming Sunday. We'll preview that show. We're really spot on about our preview. And then, of course, on Sunday, join us right here for the live reaction play-by-play show starring yours truly and with our boy BH in the chat room. Speaking of BH, welcome, BH.
Thanks, man. Good to be here. Wow. Yeah, it was a lot of build-up for that game. It was pretty darn good. We just couldn't do enough. We were beaten by the better team. I didn't think we were really overmatched except for on defense. But at the same time, we kept coming at their defense. They couldn't a lot of times couldn't stop us. Heck, we even had a blocked field goal, didn't they? Didn't they block one of our field goals?
They did.
Yeah, they tipped it. And but Cyborg came back. I think he came right back and hit a long one after that. So it's nice to know we got a kicker who doesn't just freak out, when one bad thing happens. He just ran in there and nailed it. But yeah, that was tough. It was kind of tough to watch the D struggle, but they fought. They didn't give up. It was 30 points. How much did the Cowboys give up this weekend at home? Was it 48? Yeah.
51 to 9 or something.
Yeah. And hey, our team struggled, but they didn't give up. There's teams out there that give up. They just kept fighting and fighting, doing everything they could to stop that team. It's a juggernaut. They run so well. Like you said, they got the fullback in there. But on the plus side, our young quarterback continues to grow, plays through the adversity. He makes mistakes, but they're not gargantuan. It's the kind of thing you'd expect from a rookie. God, who could blame a guy for going out, any rookie, and having a really bad game? And so far, Jayden Daniels hasn't done that. I was looking over at Pro Football Focus. Jayden, our number one rated player, actually tied with Terry, both with 78s. Noah Brown had a great game. Cornelius Lucas continues to get high grades, man. I think it's a good idea that they're splitting time, with him and Coleman, letting Coleman, the rookie, get in and play. But man, Cornelius Lucas, man, he's the most underpaid offensive tackle in the league, man. And then Tyler Biadasz had a really good game, which is good, man. That's a tough defense. They got some mammoth nose tackles and defensive linemen. He was busy and he did a great job. So I was happy about that. And some of our defensive players, despite their struggles, did really good. Mike Sainristil was our top rated guy. And Bobby Wagner, of course, had a great game. And one bright spot, too, was Javonte Jean-Baptiste, the rookie. I think he was a 7th round pick. He had a 69 score, and he's not played a lot. They're rotating him in. Well, we might need to see more of him. So anyway, there were, on offense and defense, there were some bright spots. Defense did struggle mightily. But overall, at least we did have players who were playing well, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. On the offensive side, I thought Jayden did a great job. Terry McLaurin was clutch on a few of them passes. That touchdown pass down into the left there in the end zone was awesome. Terry also caught another one in the back of the end zone, which was pretty awesome. I thought Zach Ertz stepped up in there. The O-line did really great. I think we were a little deficient in our running game because of no B-Rob. But I still, if you look at all the past games, like the past 3 or 4 games, it's almost 50-50 on the passing yards and the rushing yards. might have been 225 passing yards to 215 rushing yards, and it was nowhere near that this time. Now, Baltimore does have they stop the run, one of the best in the league, but I still don't think we attacked with the run enough. Jeremy McNichol only had 2 carries, and Eckler only had 9. But that's not near enough, and I don't think they did enough early on in the game to set that up. And they were the only 2 running backs that we had playing. And I remember calling the game. Eckler had like 3 -1 yard runs.
Yep.
Or maybe there was a pass. One of them was a pass or something. He did do good in the passing game, but I just don't think they utilized the run game enough. Even without B. Rob, I still think it should be used, and I don't think they did that enough. On the defensive side, Baltimore is an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they were just, Zay Flowers went 9 targets, 9 receptions. He did really, really good. And then, of course, you got King Henry. They don't call him King Derrick Henry for nothing. And they got that fullback that's in front of them. And they would line up in that I formation. And they got that offensive front line that they got. And we did pretty good defensively and offensively in the first half. I mean, it was Baltimore 17-10 at the half. So we were still in it and sort of into the beginning of the second quarter. But then with that rushing attack, and they figured us out in the second half. And instead of, they watched what we did, and instead of passing, which we thought they would do, they would just run it. And, Lamar Jackson gets up on that line, and he knows what he sees. He's a veteran, and his throwing game was awesome. Their running game was awesome. And they just kept pounding us and pounding us and pounding us. And no team can hold up to that. They're Super Bowl contenders. They play like it. They act like it. They got that swagger. But I still think we stood up to them really, really good. I thought we did a great job. We just don't have any second wind. We don't have another gear. I mean, to fall back to when we're getting beat up that hard. And so, with Jonathan Allen out and Dorrance Armstrong out in that second half, that really weakened us even more. I'm not coping here. I'm just saying what really happened. And we stayed in it all the way to the end. It was only a 1-score difference. I think you said when we talked before, we had 5 more minutes. Maybe it not burned that one timeout that we burned. Little tiny things that set us back. A couple penalties that set us back. And if you could have them things back, it might have, the blocked field goal. Just tiny things like that just set us back. But overall, I thought we did great. I'm not worried about it at all. So.
I mean, and people say, hey, we did look kind of bad back there. And people say, well, you gave up 30 points. It was not obnoxious in this league. But you know what? They gave up 23. Mm-hmm. It's only a touchdowns difference. When you hear a lot of people talk, a lot of fans, even national media, it's like, our defense is horrible. And then no one says anything. I'm not saying their defense is bad, but dude, it was a touchdowns difference. I mean, Jaden had an 8-play, 70-yard drive, a 12-play, 75-yard drive. I mean, that was engineered by a rookie in his 6th game on the road. In only his 6th game, he drove that team down and put it in the end zone. Boom, spiked them. So, that just means a lot to me. And what I liked about this team, they didn't lose control. There were, there was some scuffling on the sidelines and pushing and shoving, but there were no crappy, cheap shots. There was no constant bickering. There was no yelling at the refs. There was no one on the sideline throwing stuff. Everybody was a pro. Mm-hmm. Everyone, and it's hard to keep it together sometimes when you got a tough game. And sometimes in your heart, you feel like you're putting everything out there and you're not winning. So anyway, proud of those guys. And like I said, we played a really good, and you know what? It might be the best football team we'll play all year, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the way Dallas and Philly are looking.
Yeah. This might be the best team we play all year, So, I mean, hey, the Bears might be one of the best we play. I mean, they're like us; they're trending up. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think we held our own. Really wish we had gotten the W, but we got the loss, and I hope we come out of it with learning a lot and building more confidence coming out of that.
Yeah,
So,
we're still we're 4-2, and we're number one in the division.
yeah,
So
can't complain.
yeah, no, we were 4-13 last year, so we're already doing at least as good or better than we were last year. Only 6 games in, so there's a lot of room to grow and do a lot better. So I'm happy with it.
Yep, me
Goodbye,
too.
man.
Yeah, and the other thing too, man, we're not gamblers, but boy, it was 4.5 was the over, I think, to start the season. Yeah, man, could have bet the mortgage on that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that just about wraps it up
They're
for
already
today.
at 4. So anyway, anything else?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we covered it all. So we will put up the show, the preview show on Friday.
Yep.
Play those Panthers, and we're playing at home, right?
Yes, we are.
Oh man,
home.
That'll be good. And then after Friday on Sunday, Scrubber's going to be calling the game live. So try and show up and get in there.
Yeah.
All right, man. Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
I'll see you Friday.